Hello everyone. In this video, we will find solution to the Berkeley-Leverett equation that we have derived in last few videos. In last video, we non-dimensionalized the Berkeley-Leverett equation to give us a relationship between SW and FW, where SW is the water saturation and FW is the fractional flow of water, and the independent variables here are tau and xi, where tau is the dimensionless time and xi is the dimensionless distance. In the figure here I am still showing x and I will still use time when I am describing this because we want physical meaning out of the figure. So the fractional flow curve we also now know that is given by this equation if we ignore capillary pressure and gravity. And relative permeability of oil and relative permeability of water, which I have shown on the right hand side, they are also function of SW. So FW is also a function of SW. So that means using this governing equation we can find SW as a function of tau and xi. How FW looks, I have shown that here again, that we had done in the last video also, that there is an S-shaped curve where FW is a function of SW, and boundary conditions that we get are also shown in this figure, where at x is equal to 0, after we start injecting water we instantaneously get residual oil saturation, so water saturation is 1 minus SOR, and initial condition is that initially in the whole reservoir or whole porous medium we had SWC. I am writing this governing equation in a different way here because now we know that FW is only a function of SW, so we can write del FW by del xi as dFW by dsW multiplied by del SW by del xi using chain rule. I have done one more manipulation here which we will come to later. So this kind of equation that we get, or this kind of equation where SW is a dependent variable in tau and xi, is very common equation encountered in many problems. For example, in traffic flows, this equation is encountered. So to solve these kinds of equations, mathematicians have given us a different method because these generally are difficult to solve using normal solution of partial differential equation. So we use a special method called method of characteristics. I will not go into the detail of method of characteristics. I will use it, but I won't be using the terminology of method of characteristics. I will use part of the solution methodology. So this is a particular solution methodology that we will use. So now pay attention to what I am saying. Now what we are going to do here is, we will not be finding SW as a function of xi and tau as we would normally do in a partial differential equation. What we will do is, we will consider that SW is constant. So that means we will consider a particular SW between SWC and 1 minus SOR. So suppose we have considered an SW which I have denoted by blue point in the FW curve. So now what I will do is, I will see how SW changes. We know that SW changes with xi and tau, so the change in SW in this particular porous medium we can write in terms of tau and xi. So we can write dSW as del SW by del tau into d tau and del SW by del xi into d xi. So this is how in this particular porous medium we can say about how SW is changing. But as I said, we will consider a particular SW. So if we have fixed our attention to a particular SW, so that means SW is not changing. So that is why I am keeping SW is equal to 0 here, and other terms are still the same. So now next I do some mathematical manipulation where I bring del SW del xi d xi on the left hand side and keep del SW del tau d tau on the right hand side with a negative sign. This is still at constant SW. So SW is constant here. This gives me d xi by d tau of constant SW is given by this quantity. So what I have done here is I have brought d xi by d tau here, taken this in denominator on this side. So this is what I get. So what this is telling me? This is some d xi by d tau which is equivalent to dx by dt, and this gives us the dimension of velocity, isn't it? So we have dx by dt which is the dimension of velocity, and on the right hand side we have some quantity. So what is on the left hand side? So left hand side, because we have constant SW, that means this gives me the velocity of that constant SW. For example, when that SW will reach x is equal to 0, and from x is equal to 0 when it will reach x1, so the time it would take to reach x1 d xi by d tau will give me the velocity. Then when it reaches x2, when it reaches x3, when it reaches x4, so this will give me the velocity of the saturation. So I will say it once more that d xi by d tau will give me the velocity of a particular saturation. So if we look at this initial and boundary conditions curve, so we have many saturations between SWC and 1 minus SOR, and at t is equal to 0, all these saturations are concentrated at x is equal to 0, isn't it? Then we say that we want to find out what is the velocity or the position of this particular saturation. So we will find velocity using this equation. Using this equation, once we have velocity, we will multiply it with time or integrate it with time to find what distance it would have reached in time tau, and then so we will get what x or what xi it would have reached in time tau. So that means we are following a particular saturation. And now if we look at this particular modifications that I have made to the Berkeley-Leverett equation, dsw by d tau is equal to minus dfw by dsw del sw by del xi. So now I will bring del sw by del xi in the denominator, so that gives me this equation, that del sw by del tau divided by del sw by del xi is equal to minus dfw by dsw. So now this quantity I can substitute here. This is the same quantity, so I will make this substitution, and then using this I will get the velocity of the particular saturation is given from the dfw dsw. So that means that is the slope of this curve. So if we take any SW, we take slope at that SW. If we take this SW, we take slope at that SW, and that will give me the velocity of that particular SW. So in next slide we will see how this looks when we plot it with x versus saturation. In last slide we had derived this equation, and we know this is the equation which relates SW with tau and xi, and we have FW curve which is dependent on saturation. To solve these kinds of equation, we generally use method of characteristics. For that, we follow a particular saturation and find the speed of that particular saturation. In this case, the speed of the saturation is given by FW versus SW curve and slope of the FW curve. If we want to find out the speed of saturation SW1, Then we will go to the FW curve at that saturation. We will find the slope, and we see that this slope is constant. Because the slope is constant, if we want to find out in time tau where this saturation has reached in my porous medium, for that I can just integrate this equation to find that the distance traveled by SW1 is given by tau multiplied by its speed, because initially all the saturation between 1 minus SOR and SWC, all these saturations are present at x is equal to 0 or xi is equal to 0. So now at a given time tau, if we want to find out where all the saturations have reached, we can find their position at that given time tau using equation 1. So now I will talk about three such saturations. Let's say we want to find out saturation SW1. If we go to FW curve, we find this particular slope of SW1, and this particular slope of SW1 we can multiply here with tau to find the distance traveled by that particular saturation, and let's say that saturation is somewhere here because that is close to SWC, and that saturation has reached here. So we will consider another saturation as SW2. Now we will go to the curve again and that SW2, find the slope, and that slope is also same as the slope at SW1. So using that slope we again find where that SW2 has reached using this equation, because slope is same, tau is same, because we are taking a snapshot at a given time tau. The xi, the distance traveled by SW2 is also same, so that SW2 is close to 1 minus SOR, so that is here. And if we talk about SWC and 1 minus SOR, so SWC has a slope close to 0, so SWC also does not move everywhere. There is SWC, that is a trivial solution of this differential equation. Then 1 minus SOR, this 1 minus SOR, there also slope is close to 0, so that means 1 minus SOR is also not moving, its velocity is 0. This is present at only x is equal to 0. So between SWC and 1 minus SOR, we encounter different slopes, and using those slopes of FW curve, we can find the distance covered by different SWs in time tau, and we get a curve that I have shown here. So in this curve, if you take a particular x, at that x we can have three saturations. But is this possible? We have a particular x here. At that particular x, because we are dealing in one dimension, so the saturation that is present at that x should be only one. So we cannot have three saturations that are present only at a given x. So that means there is something that we still don't know how to solve this equation. All the methods that I have told you here are correct, so you don't need to worry about that. But what we are getting here, that we get three saturations for a given x, is not correct. So what we need to do for that, we will discuss in the next video. Thank you.